flag shining, suitcase on the pickup truck. Runway humming, morning in a golden haze. You check the panels, quiet in your steady gaze. You're my Boeing pilot, flying so free, so free. Hands on the throttle, watching over me. Little bit of cool, little bit of island breeze. You're my Boeing pilot, reggae at 30,000 feet. Baby. Tiny way to the kids by the airport fence. You crack a smile, turn the climb to calm suspense. Clouds like cotton, sunlight sneaking through the seam. You call the heading, and the sky begins to sing. You're my Boeing pilot, flying so free. Oh yeah, hands on the throttle, watching over me. Little bit of cool, little bit of island breeze. You're my Boeing pilot, reggae at 30,000 feet. Hey. Left seat captain with the easy laugh, swaying your shoulders as the minutes pass. Seatbelt sign off and the world feels light. You bring vacation to the business flight. Boeing pilot, flying so free. Hands on the throttle, watching over me. Little bit of cool, little bit of island breeze. You're my Boeing pilot, reggae at 30,000 feet. Hey.
Hello everybody and welcome to the very first featured flight of 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, we have in front of us the brand new Flight Factor Boeing 777-300ER that just released today. I've actually only had it for just a few hours, and here we are, guys. We are looking at this beautiful, beautiful new add-on to the Xplane 12 simulator, and you can just see the detail here in the landing gear. It's just phenomenal, the work that Flight Factor has done with this 777 add-on. And we've had the 200 now for, what, a year and a half. Don't mind my camera movements here, but just trying to give you a quick look here. Here at the engines, the blades animations there, just really, really well done. And you guys, we have now, I would say, probably the complete package, maybe a 300 freighter still on the way, I would assume. But we are basically going to be really enjoying this plane as a community here as we go through the next several months to years here with Xplane 12 as we await the A350 from Flight Factor and hopefully one day the 787 from Flight Factor as well. So you guys, we're here, we've made it. It's going to be quite an amazing add-on for this simulator. Also, we're going to be continuing to here on the channel continue to do some 777-300ER flights throughout the year. So this is just the first of many, and we'll be doing some really cool routes this year. So we're going to start here in LAX with United Airlines, and we're going to be taking this plane from LAX up to Newark Liberty International, and it's going to be really fun because we're going to be flying out of LAX and flying into the Drzewieckii Design Newark Liberty Payware airport that released a couple months ago. So once we get into Newark, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of an airport scenery tour, and it's going to be a really cool add-on for you to see, and if you haven't picked it up, I highly recommend it. I'm also running, as you're going to see here as we are taxiing out today and just kind of looking at our gate area, I'm also running the X-Codr Design Scenery Enhancement package, which is also brand new to the sim. Came out probably a few weeks ago, and I have a review video coming out here very soon on that product. So you're going to see it in action here as we are getting ready for our flight. All right, so with that, let's get started on today's flight. We are United 580 Heavy going from LAX to Newark Liberty Airport. Out of LAX, there are not many United 777-300 flights, and this is one of them. So I thought, well, this is exactly the perfect flight then for us to do today. So we're looking here on our route. We are looking at about 2,294 nautical miles, 4.5 hours airtime, and almost 5 hours in block time from gate to gate. So we've been cruising at an altitude of 37,000 feet, and we're going to be taking with us 304 passengers and a total block fuel of 86,192 pounds. Up here on the screen, you can see our flight path here across the United States, and we're going to be skirting some storms here over the Missouri landscape. So we're going to be actually going just north of some storms that are between Memphis and St. Louis. So we're going to keep an eye on that as we are making our way across, and if we need to go a little further north to avoid those thunder cells, we're going to definitely go ahead and do that. But as of right now, timing wise, it looks like they may be passing south of that area, so we should be okay with our current route. All right, we have our load sheet here now that we are fully boarded with passengers and cargo, and we're going to take a look here at our zero fuel weight. We're looking at 463.1 today, so we'll go over to our init ref page. Go ahead and type in 463.1, throw that into there, and then our reserves are going to be 2,000 pounds. Our cruise altitude today is going to be 37,000. However, it looks like it's not letting it go any higher than 36,000. So we'll just do 36,000 feet right now. Cost index today, taking a look over here at my other monitor, we've got 179 for our cost index. Definitely going to have a nice tailwind today on our route. And then we're going to be doing a cell temp of plus 48. And that'll give us a D-rated takeoff of 102%. And then flaps 5 for departure. There we go, flaps 5. And then we're going to go next page here. We'll start entering our winds information in for LAX. And winds today are 080 at 3. Winds are light here today. And then we're going to be doing our outside air temperature of 18 degrees Celsius. Very good. Now back to our takeoff ref page. We will go ahead and get our, let's see here. I want to get CG summary here. So CG summary is going to be 32.3 on the CG today, giving us a trim of 3.5, and then we'll go ahead and accept our V speeds. Wonderful. All right, so now we are all boarded. We're ready to go. We're just going to take a quick look here at our flight plan. We'll step through this here quick. You can see we're going to be taking off here, making that turn left out of the LA area, and we'll get our range here a little bit more. And then as we make our way across the United States, you can just kind of see how we're going to be kind of bobbing and weaving our way across. And then we're going to come in from the south, and we're going to head up north towards Newark Liberty. And then there's our vector into our arrival this afternoon. So we'll make sure our winds are still the same as we are coming up on our top of descent. So, but right now we are scheduled for runway 22 left into Newark. All right, looks like we are all ready to go here. We can go ahead and go up top, and we will get ready for our pushback, and we'll go ahead and pre-plan it here. We're going to be taxiing over to runway 24 left, which is actually the opposite side of the airport. So we do have a little bit longer of a taxi out of LAX this afternoon. And then we will go ahead and get our grounds operation all good to go. We'll get the purser to arm the doors.
Yes, sir.
And we will be ready to get on out of LAX. We'll go ahead and detach those jetways. There they go. And right away, you guys, you can see from this like overview shot the ground textures here with this add-on from X-Codr Designs, this airport enhancement scenery. It's really changed my entire sim. Every single default airport, this enhancement will take place in your sim. $22.95 one-time purchase. It's a no-brainer that you would want to add this into your Xplane 12. If you have a lot of default airports, which of course you do, you're going to want to pick this up because obviously it's going to enhance each of your airports. If you are running third-party airports, you're going to want to still pick this up because it's going to also play nicely with some of those airports as well. Some it won't be compatible with. You'll still run your third-party airport ground textures. However, this is going to absolutely transform your sim. It's going to add not just all the like dirt, grime, grease marks, all of that into your ground textures in each of your airports, but it's also going to add a lot more content of vehicles, cones, just clutter all around the airport. And I've got that review video on my channel to go ahead and check out where I go in depth with it. All right, parking brake can be released, and we are ready to push on out and head to runway 24 left for departure.
3, 2, 1, Hi, and welcome.
Thanks.
We're happy to have you aboard, and we appreciate your attention as we
All right,
get
engine
the
number
safety
2 over to
off
start.
and rolling.
FAA regulations require you to follow the instructions of our crew members and comply with all posted and lighted signs.
Now, once we
Please
reach
review the safety
25%,
card
we're going to
located
go
at
ahead
your
and introduce
seat.
that fuel.
It's important to have your seatbelt on at all times. To fasten your seatbelt, slide the metal end into the buckle. Tighten by pulling the loose end of the strap. Lift the buckle to release. When the seatbelt sign is on, your seatbelt must be fastened low and tight across your lap. In case of
Just can't get over
unexpected
the
turbulence,
absolute
keep your seatbelt
size of
fastened
this airplane.
Even when the seatbelt sign
It's
is
just
off.
a behemoth.
In United Polaris business class, if your seat has a shoulder strap, fasten your seat
And the
belt
engine
and
sounds are
secure
just
the
top-notch
shoulder
as
strap by
well.
Placing the metal fitting over the lock and pulling on the strap until it clicks. The shoulder strap must be secure for taxi, takeoff, and landing. To release, push down on the metal fitting and lift.
Please take a moment to look around in order to familiarize yourself with the aircraft.
All right, I think what I'm going to do is stop that announcement so we can hear engine number 1 fire up. All right, back up here to the cockpit. We will go ahead and introduce that fuel to engine number 1. Set that parking brake. And we'll start to hear that engine spool up. All right, push pack tug can go away. Both engines are spooled up and running nicely.
Boeing 777 has 8 exit doors, 4 on each side of the aircraft. If the doors are opened in an emergency, slide rafts.
All right, back up in the cockpit. We will go ahead and get our trim set to that 3.5.
Speed brake button.
Oh, don't want that.
Overhead signs. As you locate the 2 exits nearest your seat, remember.
All right, 3.5 on the trim,
If you are seated
and we
in
are
an
ready
exit
to
row,
taxi.
You may be asked to assist the crew during an evacuation. If you are unable or uncomfortable performing exit
All right,
row
LNAV,
functions,
VNAV, auto throttle armed.
please ask
We'll go ahead and get our
flight
flap set to 5 degrees.
If you must evacuate the aircraft,
Jump back here to the cabin, take a look at those flap animations.
and guide you to the exit. Look for a change in color or an exit sign to indicate that you have reached an exit. For everyone's safety, Leave all carry-on bags behind.
One thing I wish Flight Factor would improve upon are their wing textures. I think still that is the one area that this plane still could use some work. They just kind of look like the 75, 76. That's the much older planes in the sim. So one thing that they could definitely improve upon, if I'm comparing them to, let's say, the level up planes, the Zebo mod, they definitely could work on those wing textures. The cockpit is absolutely fantastic. There's nothing I would really change in here. I would just love to see that same texture quality on those wings as well.
Pull the tab to remove the pouch. If present, remove the strapping around the pouch. Tear open the pouch, remove and unfold the vest. Slip it over your head, wrap the belt around your waist, and secure it to the buckle in front. Pull the loose end and tighten. Inflate your vest just prior to exiting the aircraft by pulling down sharply on the red tab. You can also inflate the vest by blowing.
Alright, we'll see what our purser wants.
Did you want something?
Captain, just wanted to let you know that we are ready and the briefing has been completed.
Smoking, vaping, using e-cigarettes.
Alright, very good. Cabin is ready. We've got an airport grounds crew just completely cutting off our airplane. Alright. Yeah, the wing textures I would love to see over the next months to a year, probably just get an enhanced look to them, better quality in the textures. I think it would just really add a whole lot. Also, the crew voices that they have in this plane is something that needs to be reworked. They sound so fake, so robotic. I know a lot of people, other streamers that I've watched, they have turned them off. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I'm kind of debating on whether or not I want to continue having those voices in my sim. It really takes away from the immersion when you don't have those realistic sounding voice interactions. It's not really well done, and I've said this before on previous videos. I don't know if it was in the Around the Globe or other featured flights, but the guy sounds like the dog from Up. And every single time I hear his voice, I can't get past the fact that he sounds like the dog from Up. And if you haven't thought about that, and now you've heard that, you're going to think about it every time as well. And that just bugs me so much. So I definitely want to see that change over the years. I don't think it's going to happen, but it is definitely one of those things I want to see. Alright, so we are taxiing to runway 24 left, and as we pop outside here quick, you can just see those ground textures here from that X-Codr Design Airport Enhancement package. It's the second version of that. It must have been also available in Xplane 11. I never had it for Xplane 11. I actually didn't even know about it until they started advertising for version 2.0. But you can just see, like, in front of us here are taxi lines, and just how... oh, we don't want to turn in here. We want to we want to continue on down to the next turn. But you can just see on the taxiway here the tire markings. The yellow line is much thicker and it has that black outline. The default scenery in X-Plane does not have as thick of a yellow lead line, as well as all of like the dirt and grime on the yellow itself. So it just looks excellent. It looks fantastic. It looks even better on my 1440p monitor. The YouTube compression, of course, I think is going to take a little bit of that away. But it is such a game changer for a one-time price of $22.95 to have that transform every single one of your default airports, and basically makes the ground textures look like a payware airport. It's a no-brainer purchase. It's something that you must do if you fly X-Plane 12. And every single airport I go to, it's just enhancing that ground texture, but it's also adding objects, ground vehicles, cones. I don't even know if this is true or not. Maybe this is something that X-Plane 12 has done itself through updates. I'm not sure what the sound is coming from, but I've also heard like beeping of trucks backing up, and I don't know if that started with this whole enhancement scenery that I've done or if that's part of X-Plane 12. But it's just something new that I've noticed since I've had that update to my sim. So I just really enjoy all of the just the added textures and everything it's brought to the sim. All right, we got a Sky Chef guy also playing chicken with us here. A lot of that happening in the real world as well. So I guess we can say that what we're seeing is unfortunately accurate to real life. People are getting a little too risky. We got another guy up here on our right we got to watch for. I think he's going to hold short of us. Thank you very much. So guys, we are in the Flight Factor Boeing 777-300ER that just released today. I am recording this on release day of Thursday, April 16th. This is my first initial flight with this aircraft. It does start up just like the 200. Really, the cockpit is identical. There's nothing really that is different there. I've noticed in the EFB, one cool feature, when you are boarding, you have the option of playing cabin music. That was also a really cool surprise. Absolutely love that feature. It just adds a little bit more of that realistic immersion that we all look for. I was actually shocked to see that in the Discord people were complaining about it, and so I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm standing alone on this island, but I just absolutely loved it. It was something that I wasn't expecting to be with this add-on, and it's really cool. Now I gotta look and see if it was also implemented into the 200. I'm really curious. So also, it does have a different chrono clock. You can see here on our screens in front of us in the upper right there. It's going to be on the EFIS. You can see it showing my chrono clock. So definitely something different there from the 200. So little small Easter egg differences, but overall it's pretty much the same cockpit and textures. But overall, the cockpit looks absolutely fantastic. Alright, we're holding short, runway 24 left. We'll get our landing lights on, strobe light can come on, taxi light can come off. And ladies and gentlemen, we are just about to get out of LAX and start our cross-country journey. 4.5 hours on the clock. We'll advise the cabin.
4 left.
And because we are in that 777-300, she is a long bird, we're going to have to go out like this and then make that slow turn to line up here on the runway.
Heading 240. Check.
On runway 24 left.
All right, looking good. All right, Newark, here we come. United 777-300ER, inaugural flight here on the channel. Let's see how the bird flies. Throttle's 40%.
Thrust reference. VNAV speed on.
All right, and toga, slight forward down pressure on the yoke. Let's get it.
Auto throttle hold.
V1 and rotate.
LNAV.
Positive rate, gear up.
VNAV speed, thrust reference.
Alright, flaps position 1.
Heading to course.
Alright, we'll go flaps clean. And we are climbing on out of LAX.
Autopilot engaged.
Los Angeles Tower, runway 24 left, cleared for takeoff, winds 240 at 6. United 58 heavy.
Frontier Flight 3155, direct crane, cleared for the RNAV Yankee runway 25.
Flight level 190 for flight level.
All right, back up here into the cockpit. We are now coming up on 22,000 feet, and we are on course to Newark Liberty International. We're going to definitely try and get up to 37,000 feet. I know the FMC in our initial setting up said our max altitude was 36,800. I think I'm going to go ahead and get 37,000 plugged in here soon. I think once we bleed off a lot of our weight here from our initial takeoff and climb, we should be just fine to get up to 37,000 feet. We also may have to step climb too if those thunderstorms are something that we come across over Missouri. We may have to go up higher than 37,000 feet, but we'll see what we come across here as we still have a few hours before we reach that point. All right, guys. Well, this is where I'm gonna leave you for the intermission. So when we come back, we will be on our descent into Newark. We're gonna take a look at the brand new Drzewieckii Designs Newark Liberty International third-party scenery. So once we land and we get down to the gate, we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of a scenery tour. So if you guys have any interest in that third-party scenery here for Xplane 12, definitely stick around after we park at the gates, and we will go ahead and fly around, check out all of the different parts of the airport, as well as the modeled interior, which is always fun to take a look at. So we'll see you on the other side of the intermission.
Sun on my shoulder, coffee cup, dancing steam. Bare feet on a cool tile kitchen, today tastes sweet to me. Little kid laughing in the doorway, neighbor waves from across the way. Got no goal, got no worries, still I feel so rich today. I got the good feeling, rolling in like a bright green wave. Every little thing just healing, wash my trouble away. I got the good feeling, heart so light I could float all day. If you want a little piece of this joy now, come and sing it my way. Hey! Old bike, rust on the handle, still ride smooth down the road. Palm trees doing their slow dance like they already know. Friends call, come by the corner, plastic chairs and a story or two. Pass that smile like we passed that bottle. What I got, I share with you. I got the good feeling, rolling in like a bright green wave. Every little thing just healing, wash my trouble away. I got the good feeling, heart so light I could float all day. If you want a little piece of this joy now, come and sing it my way. Oh yeah. Maybe rain comes later, clouds can cover the blue, but even when the sky feels heavy, I'll keep a little sun for you. I got the good feeling, rolling in like a bright green wave. Every little thing just healing, wash my trouble away. I got the good feeling, heart so light I could float all day. If you want a little piece of this joy now, come and sing it my way.
Alright everybody, welcome back. We are on our descent into Newark this evening. We are over 4 hours into our flight. We are right on time at that 4.5 hour mark is what we're aiming for to get our passengers to their next destination here within the allotted time. So we are going to be landing on 22 left as originally planned. Winds are light right now, but we are going to be landing directly into a headwind. Winds could be around 10 nautical miles per hour, sorry, 10 miles per hour. But it should be a pretty stable approach coming in as we are also looking at a beautiful sunset here in New York this evening. We did have those thunderstorms across the heartland of America. We did have those over Missouri, but they were just south of us, so it didn't really affect us at all, and we kept our speed across and did not have to divert at all around those storms. So that was a nice little surprise there. All right, so guys, this is gonna be my first time ever landing the 777-300ER. My plan is to land it like the 200. I know there is a difference between the length of these two planes, obviously, but my plan is to land it like I've been landing the 777, the 75, all these longer planes, and just really easy on the flare. The one thing with these long aircrafts is you don't flare like you're flying a 737 or I don't know, an Embraer, right? You're going to flare those a lot more. With these longer planes like the 777, very easy on the flare. Let that plane kind of just do what it needs to do to land. It's already going to be kind of pitched up, so you're just going to kind of ease into that flare already and just let that plane come on down. So once we land at the gate, we're going to go ahead and get everyone deboarded, and then we're going to do our little airport scenery tour. And I'll do my best to kind of show you guys all around the different terminals and gates, and there's some I guess loading docks of sorts off to the, I guess it would be the east of the airport. So we'll kind of fly over there and take a look at it, give you guys a good look at it. I figured instead of doing a separate review video, we'll just do it here at the end of our featured flight video. So if you are interested in the scenery, the description and the link will be down below by Drzewieckii Designs. Go ahead and pick it up and add it to your sim. And I have to say, it's my first and only payware airport scenery, and it's absolutely fantastic. I've probably flown into Newark now more than I ever have before, just due to the fact that I love this scenery. So you do need to use the OpenSAM plugin for your gateways and jetways to work, so just make sure you have that installed as well, and make sure it's the most recent update, and then you will be good to go. Alright friends, we are at 7,000 feet. We are going to be just vectoring around here. We're kind of downwind right now from the airport itself. We're going to keep our speed here at 240 for just a little bit longer, and as we sort of make our way just past the airport, we're going to go ahead and make our right turn and get in line with the runway.
American 903, radar contact.
Alright guys, so I want to show you kind of an outside view as we are making our way towards our turn to final. But I want you to listen to these engine sounds. Okay, so my one ask of Flight Factor is we have to work on these engine sounds. I'm not really sure if it's coming across very well on the stream, but I noticed also in Discord somebody had posted that after a while flying the airplane, and they were saying several hours in the airplane, that their engine sounds were kind of sounding like this. And I watched the video that they posted, and it sounded a lot like what I'm experiencing now. So remember guys, this is day one of this airplane being released, the 300 variant at least, that is. I don't know if I've ever really experienced this in the 200. I'm trying to remember if I've ever heard this. I want to say maybe I have. Nope, a hot air balloon down there. Two hot air balloons down there. But I think there's just a little bit of work, a little bit of tweaking that needs to be done on these engine sounds. So again, let's be patient, right? But I think it's important that we at least point it out, so that way Flight Factor can hopefully work on it. And they do have those engine expansion packs, and I have not purchased those, so I don't know if that is a problem with those as well. But it doesn't sound right. I guess I can't really describe what I'm expecting to hear, but I think the engine sounds could be a little bit smoother there, a little bit better. All right, and as we make our turn from the Filbo waypoint, we're going to be having our airport right off to our right, and we're just going to follow this vector here a little bit northeast, and then we'll be making our final turn into the runway. The waypoint we're heading to right now, we probably will be bypassing that. I'm going to try and get in here a little bit quicker and make that turn a little bit better. So that waypoint is a little bit past where I want to be. So we're just going to make our one final turn here in just a little bit, and then we'll be in line with runway 22 left.
208 knots.
Good evening. Established on the RNAV runway 22 left approach.
United 580 Heavy, Newark Liberty International.
All right, here we are turning on the final, flaps at 15 degrees. We are at 3,000 feet. Looks like we have ourselves a beautiful sunset arrival this evening into Newark.
149 knots.
All right, final landing speed set, 149. We'll go ahead and just continue extending some more flaps, 20 degrees, bleed off some more of that speed. And in just a moment here, we will drop our landing gear.
United 580 Heavy, runway 22 left, winds 170 at 6, cleared to land.
All right, we've been cleared to land.
Cleared to land runway 22 left, United 580 Heavy.
Alright, landing gear is down. Got Manhattan off to our left. There's the Freedom Tower, very nice. Tell you, this is the golden hour right here, you guys. This is when I absolutely love flying in this sim. Landing, taking off, mostly landing at this time. If you can time it just right, it's just absolutely perfect. The lighting in this sim has just come such a long way in the last year to year and a half, and it amazes me every time. Alright, you guys, let's see how we do here on our landing. Inaugural flight in the Boeing 777-300ER by Flight Factor. Absolutely in love with this plane. And now we get to fly into our beautiful Drzewieckii Designs Newark Liberty International. All right, 3 green, flaps 25. Landing speed is set.
1,000 to go.
Flaps full.
1,000.
Checked. Winds just over 10 miles per hour and gusty, just a little bit. Coming right at us though, so not too bad.
Approaching.
All right, 282 red.
2 left.
$400. 300. Approaching minimums.
Continue.
200. Minimums.
Landing.
100.
VNAV path.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Auto
All
throttle.
right, roll back that throttle.
10.
Start to flare.
VNAV.
Nice, and we are down, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go ahead and let her just roll this on out. Let's get back in line here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome down to Newark. And whoa, okay. I'm applying my manual braking, and I can tell that the sensitivities are a little too much here. I got to go in and fix that in the EFB.
Feet remaining.
I saw the setting in there earlier in cruise, and I left it. It was at 100%. I dropped it down to 80, and clearly I need to drop that way further down. So
Newark. The local time is
make note on that for our next flight.
International Airport Ground, United 587. Good evening, cleared of runway, ready to taxi.
All right, we're cleared of the runway. Go ahead and turn our landing lights off. Runway turn-off lights can come off. Taxi light can come on. And we will go up to the APU, and we'll go ahead and get that spooled up. Very good. Alright guys, so I am using Say Intentions. I've talked about this a lot on my channel. One great feature I'm going to show you guys here, if this is something that interests you. You see these arrows that just appeared. You can go ahead and apply them. You can click on a button called Taxi Path, and what it'll do is they're going to assign you a gate, or you can go into your app on your phone with Say Intentions and assign your own gate. And what it'll do is it'll then guide you from the runway to the gate that you have been assigned. So really very cool. I love using this feature. Sometimes, you know, yeah, you can say it takes away from like the realism part of it all, but honestly, what I love about it is it's just I get to taxi to the runway and not have to worry about instructions. Sometimes at these larger airports, when you've got these like real complex airport taxiways, it's not that you can't follow taxi instructions, right? Like you can do it, and it's important to learn how to do that. But sometimes I just want to just let it just show me where to go. One thing I'm going to check here real quick is just make sure this isn't an XP realistic thing, but I do believe it's going to be the plane itself that was doing that weird braking motion. Yeah, okay, well, tell you what, I'll take a look at that later, but I do believe it's in the EFB here, and I'll have to take a look at it. But as you can see, these arrows are on the taxi path, and so you can just follow that to your gate. Now I use, just to add some realism into my sim, I use the drawn aircraft because I run mostly default airports, so I don't have airport planes being put in by my third-party scenery. This is actually the only third-party scenery that I own. The other two that I use are Mr. X's free San Francisco and Boston. So I want to have airplanes at my airport. So sometimes I'll be assigned a gate, or I'll assign myself a gate, and then I'm going to have these arrows go to a gate that's already got a plane there. So when that happens, I just choose the next closest gate, not a big deal. And unfortunately, actually, that probably happens more than I would like to admit, but it's still very cool, right? Like, you can use this on your taxiway out, you can use it on your taxiway in, and then one thing I would say that I would want to change about it is I wish they would not have this show up on the runway. So if you have this selected when you're taxiing out, it won't show up on the runway when you're taking off, because it's just going to show you your path to the runway itself. But when you land, they're going to show up on the runway. And I don't like that. I want these to only show up on the taxiway. It doesn't bother me if they're over here, of course, because that's why I'm using it. But when it's showing up on the runway and it's flashing up, and if any of you have seen some of my on arrivals, you'll see these arrows pop up on screen. And it just kind of breaks the whole immersion. So that's one thing I would ask for them to change going forward. But other than that, I really love to use that feature. Alright, here we are coming into a gate. It's not the gate that I had assigned. I had a plane at that gate, so just like I was saying, sometimes that'll happen, and here it happened. So we're going to go right over here, not a big deal, and we'll start making our turn in. You see our marshaller up ahead. I feel like I shouldn't be I'm not sure what he's doing here. Go outside. Okay, I'm like right on the line. I think it's because we're kind of crooked is why he's saying keep going over to the right, but I'm just gonna keep my front wheel on that line, and hopefully the rest of the plane will follow. Go outside and cheat a little bit. And now, dude, you're not standing far enough back. I can hardly see you. Alright, I'll go over a little bit. I'll trust his judgment. Alright, straightforward. Okay. Trying to peer over my nose here. Alright, okay. Alright, buddy. I'm losing you. I'm losing you. Okay, we still have a ways to go here, I think. He needs to be like behind that fence right there. I don't know what he's doing. Who trained you, dude? Alright, okay. Alright, a little bit more. A little bit more. And we lost him. Okay, there we go. I saw his glow sticks cross. Okay. Always an adventure. Alright. So we'll go open SAM. We'll go say dock jetway. We're going to go ahead and get that APU going here. And then we can shut down engine number 2. Followed by engine number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to Newark Liberty International. And we'll go and get in touch here with our purser.
Would you like something?
All doors to manual mode.
All disarmed and cross-checked.
Alright, there we go. Very good. And then let's get in touch with the grounds crew. Alright guys, and here it is, the beautiful 777-300ER. We're going to get one last final couple commands done here. We'll go unload passengers, unload cargo, unload catering. And ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to Newark Liberty International, the Drzewieckii Design. Beautiful third-party scenery. Again, if you are interested in anything you've seen here on the stream today, I will link everything in the description below. From the airplane to the scenery to the airport enhancement product that X-Codr Design has released. So go ahead and check those links out if you are so interested. And that is going to pretty much do it for our flight here today. And now that we are down here on the ground, let's take a look at this scenery. We are at a beautiful time to check this out during the day today, during the sunset. So let's take a look. As you can see, as I pan up and just take a look out over the airport here, just really well done. Just really well done scenery. There's not much more to say other than that. You can see kind of like the cargo bay over there. You can see the shipping dock off to our right. We'll go over there in just a second, but as you can see, like how just everything is laid out here. All the planes where they are parked are, you know, like the Uniteds are where the United should be. The cargo planes where the UPSs are versus the FedEx, they're where they should be. Everything is accurate, so that's really great to see. Just kind of giving you an inside look there, but yeah, and then as we go into the airport terminal itself, it's all modeled, which is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love to see that. I love it as long as it doesn't affect performance. So some of you may be wondering, how does the performance affect your sim? You can see on the bottom left hand side of my screen I'm running 27 FPS, and I've got a pretty beefy computer. I've got a 5070, and I've never really had any stutters. I think maybe the first time I ever flew into this airport, when I was landing, my runway textures were a little bit blurry. But other than that, I've never really seen any sort of stutters or anything. So I would recommend a higher end PC for all of this. There is no setting that at least I know of where you can go in and shut off the interior to the airport, so I do wish that that was an option. If I'm wrong, please leave a comment in the section below, and I definitely want to know how to shut it off, because if it adds performance, it's definitely going to be something that I'll be interested in. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of keep flying around here. I got really no exact terminal to show you. I just want to kind of show you some of the insides of these. But really well done modeling. They've really obviously taken their time to be highly detailed in what they're showing. You can see TSA checkpoint here. You've got the air train over here. So just, you know, a little bit of everything here. And then you've got these little hallways that you can venture down to other gates and terminals. So very well done. They've got these little tablets on each of the tables, which is really nice to see. Really cool little touch. And then there's also a spot too where it looks like maybe it was the newly remodeled terminal. This to me kind of looks like the older terminal. I'm not too familiar with Newark. I've never been there, so please again correct me if I am wrong, but I do believe that one of these is the newest terminal, and you can definitely tell that it's a little bit bigger, more spacious inside. So but yeah, very well done. I have to say, I think this scenery cost me $24 at the time that I purchased it, and I always wanted a payware scenery, wanted to give it a try. I've always been one to just run my sim very vanilla, but over the last several months, especially with starting this channel, I've been interested in kind of adding more and more to my sim and just kind of talking about more products, creating content for the channel. But over here you can see the shipyard, which is very cool, very well modeled, lots going on over here. And yeah, just I really enjoy this scenery. All right, and here is what I believe is to be the newer terminal. Not sure how old this is. Again, I'm not really too sure. I'm not quite familiar with Newark, having never been there, but this just looks like a newer part of the airport. And again, more TSA checkpoints here. You walk in, you kind of got this like overlook. It's just really kind of cool. And you can go down the main here. I mean, again, this just looks new to me. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that, but it just looks like the newer terminal. But nice, open, spacious. But yeah, I mean, very cool. And for somebody who doesn't use third-party sceneries, this is kind of impressive. So really enjoy it. All right, you guys, well, that is going to do it for our first featured flight of 2026. LAX to Newark Liberty International here in beautiful New Jersey. Looking out at this sunset, what a beautiful way to end today's flight. And you guys, if you, again, are interested in anything we've talked about here today, you can find the links down below. Make sure everything is linked for you so you have easy access to go ahead and add these cool features into your sim. So the Flight Factor Boeing 777-300ER, absolutely fantastic product, you guys. It is a $30 upgrade if you already own the 200, and so if you are brand new to the product, you do not own the 200, it is an $89 add-on. So just know that, and the link will be down below for you to enjoy. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you up in the sky.
Little bit of cool, little bit of island breeze. You're my Boeing pilot, reggae at 30,000 feet. Baby. Tiny way to the kids by the airport fence. You crack a smile, turn the climb to calm suspense.